Hi, this is Dawn from Create and Create with Confidence, and I just wanted to give you a quick flip through of the journal, A Gentleman's Study. And this kit is available on my Etsy shop, Create Curiosities. And I'm just going to do a flip through. Most of everything that you see in here is the digital kit. This How to Use a Junk Journal is actually from Porch Prints, and it's ideas on how to use junk journal. And I like to put this in my junk journals. But you see, here's a couple pieces of ephemera from the kit in there. So I'm just going to go through and show you what I had done. Let me flip back here again. I had this clasp that I had gotten from a secondhand shop years ago, and I decided to use that, and I just put this on with E6000 and brads, and then I covered the brads with paper here. The corners of the book pages, or the books, I used E6000 and book corners, and then I used needlepoint pliers to pinch that. I used E6000 to glue this Enjoy the Journey on, and I just put this on, and then I used 3-in-1 to glue on the cards, and I used E6000 to glue on the buttons. So I didn't put those on in the tutorial, so I wanted to make sure I got a chance to show y'all how to do it, or tell y'all how to do it. Okay, so I had done all of these in the tutorial. This is just a little tuck here. I had folded this page to make a little pocket, and this is ephemera from just from a freebie. This little cluster dangle here, I actually got the idea from GI Care, and I will link that on from her video, YouTube video, so y'all can see how she did it. She's obviously she was much better than I. But I love the idea, so decided to use it. We've got a little pull out here with the envelope, and this was just a piece of book page that I folded. So go through. These were attached to a book page, and they were just 2 pieces or 4 pieces of ephemera that I glued and created little pockets to tuck things in. Okay, this was the back of an envelope. You'll see the other part in a minute, and I just put in a couple playing cards that I had roughed up a little bit, and then glued some blank cardstock on the back for writing. And this is a page out of a book. Okay. This was a music sheet, and I just paper clipped an envelope that's got some goodies in it. Okay, a belly band with some pieces of ephemera in it, attached to a music sheet. This was the bottom of the paper bag. We did the flip out that you open up, and it has the little 3D card in it for journaling. Okay. This is the other part of the envelope, and what I had done was I glued it back here, and then I cut this here so that I had a pocket right here. And then I just put this brad in and actually glued that on, and then glued that ephemera. Okay, this was a book page, and I just glued the side there, made a little pocket, add a little pocket onto that. Okay. Just a paper clip onto a piece of book page. And this was a book page that I had folded diagonally over to make a little pocket. And I just added some ephemera to the back of it. And that was the first signature. So I'm going into the second signature here. Here's one of the pockets and one of the pieces of ephemera. And this piece was a piece of ephemera from something else. Okay, and this was one of the music sheets that I had folded over and created a pocket out of and put a couple playing cards in that, again, I had glued some cardstock on the back to make journaling cards out of. And this was 2 book pages that I glued together to make a pocket, top-loading pocket, and then just added some ephemera to it. This is one of those dangles, and I just paper clipped it to the top of a book page. A pocket that came in with the kit, and a little tag. Okay, and one of the envelopes that comes with the kit, and that's just another piece of ephemera that came with something else. Okay. A belly band, and one of the little file folders, and it's got some small ephemera pieces inside of it. Here were the domino sheets that I had found. Remember, I had put on the dominoes that I had gotten. I actually got these at Dollar General, Dollar Tree, and I use them for alcohol inks, or with alcohol inks. This was a little flip. You pull it up, pull it down. You can write on it. And then I used some ephemera pieces and glued them together to create a tuck or a belly band. And then this was a sheet of paper I had from a scrapbooking paper that I just made into a messenger envelope. And I just made a paper clip out of one of my dangles, and I attached a piece of ephemera to that. And just a simple paper clip with the piece of ephemera. I kept everything really simple in this book because I wanted it to be manly and not foo-foo. So that's why you're not seeing lace and all the pretty things in here. Okay, a little hidden tuck spot with some goodies in it, and a pocket. Again, this was two pieces of book pages, and another little tuck back here. And music sheet that I just glued together and made into a pocket. And a pocket here with some pieces of ephemera. And that was a second signature. So now we're in the last signature. So this was one of the book pages that I cut a little bit and then just glued 2 pieces of, I'm not sure if these, I guess these were pieces of journaling cards, and I glued them on to make a pocket and stuck a journaling card inside. Another music sheet made into a pocket. Another pocket here with some ephemera in it, and a little tag, and a belly band with the file folder in it that has some little pieces of ephemera. Okay. A pocket with some ephemera in it. Let's turn that around. Okay. And this was the other part of the paper bag And I just took some ephemera and made a belly band. And this was one of the little envelopes. I've just got some small pieces of ephemera in there. And I've got some ephemera in here, little tag, just some little pieces. And then this, I was going to make 3 pockets, but once I got glued these on, and what I did was I glued them on one of those music sheets. I thought this would make a really good writing spot, so I just left them like this so that whoever has this can write in them. And so it's got 3 little writing spots there. Now the book page, and this is the same thing as the cover here. It's just leftover paper and some ephemera in there. Another little tag just stuck on here. And this is the second half of that paper bag. And I've just taken the circles and made a tuck, added something in there. Got some little tiny pieces of ephemera in here. And then a little tuck made out of a confidential label. Okay. And this was the 3-layered pocket. So I've got a big tag back here. I've got some pieces of ephemera. This was the bottom of that big tag. And the big tag was actually made out of an extra piece of paper, cardstock. So I've just got some different pieces in there. Okay. Another paper clip with a little piece of a little envelope attached to it. 3 circles that are glued together and then kind of put sideways there to create a little tuck spot. And a pocket here. And then 2 book pages with a little dangle on it, and was made into a pocket. Okay, and then the final pocket. And I like to put on this limited edition stamp, and this is it's a set of stamps, and I got them from Amazon. So there are like 6 or 8 stamps in there, and one of them has a limited edition on it. And I can just put 1 of 1 in my name. And then the back of the journal, and you can see where I just put brads in here, but also reinforced it with E6000. And I covered the back of the brads with paper there. So that is a gentleman's study. And if you want to see the videos on how to create that, they're kind of long, and there are 4 of them. But they'll walk you through everything except for like the very end where I created the top of this. So it'll walk you through creating the cover and the signatures and everything inside. So I hope you enjoyed that flip through of this journal, and I hope you like that. And I will see you later. Thank you. Bye.